Alright, so today I'd like to talk about inheritance. So inheritance is a very major feature of the object-oriented programming in Python. So let's see it together. So I created a class called parent, and I'll pass init function and self and name and age. And I'll say self.name equal name, self.age equal age. And I'll create another function called who am I, and I'll pass the self. I'll actually print my name is self.name, and here self.age years old. Okay. So now I create another class called child, and here in the case of the inheritance, you create a parenthesis and you pass and this class, and this is called a parents class. I name it the parent, but whatever the name it is, you call it the parents class when you pass it to this another class, and in this case I call it the child class. So this is again, I name it the child, but whatever the name it is, you call it the child class when you inherit another class. Okay, so I create init function here and self, and same as the one above, name and age, and I add here the hobby. So when you create an attribute, you actually type the cell name, the name, and cell age and age. But in the case of the inheritance, you don't have to do it every time. You can actually say super dot underscore init underscore parentheses, and you pass the name and age. So what's happening here is this super will take his parents class, and you call the init function, which is from this parent class. So if I write it in a different way, and this is actually the same as this one. So this super replaces the parent class name, and it is written as a super. And this is a very common way to write it, and everyone uses it these days, so definitely good to remember. And in addition to these two attributes, I actually add another parameter called hobby. So I need to create here self.hobby equal hobby. And now, so let's create a console right here. Okay. Alright, so and the land is gold, and I create a parents object called the parent, and I name it Slim Shady, and age is 32. So if I see parent dot who am I, let's say my name is Slim Shady, 32 years old. Okay, then I create instance called child. I go child, and in a child there is a 3 parameters, so I need to say 3 parameter. So I say Eminem, and age 23, and the hobby is music. So if I say child and who am I, it says my name is Eminem, 23 years old. So this is again when you create inheritance, the parent's method, which is who am I in this case, will be automatically passed to this child class. So one of the properties of the inheritance is the reusability, because you can actually pass however many methods you create, the child class will automatically reuse those methods and inside of this its own class. And when you create a more class, for example, if you create called ground child, and here you pass child class, and I copy and paste here, and here you can call again the super dot underscore underscore init underscore underscore and name and age and hobby, and I run this code and I create a grandchild instance and I'll say grandchild, and here I'll say Marshall, and I'll say 32, and hobby is lap. So in this case, if I say who am I, it's say my name is Marshall, 32 years old. So what just happened here is when you pass this child class to the another child class, so first the parents class will pass to the child, and then this child class will pass to this grandchild. So basically this grandchild will inherit all the methods the parents class have and all the attributes that the parent and this child class have. So in this case, when I create a child, I create a super, and I need to create it a hobby because I added the hobby parameter right here. But in the case of the grandchild, you don't have to create self.hobby equal hobby, because self.hobby is inside of this child class, and I pass this child class to the grandchild class. So all the attributes that I created before will be automatically passed to this grandchild class as this super.init function. So this is how inheritance work, and it's a very useful when you want to represent a real world relationship. And also a major feature is it's a transitivity. So however many you create classes and however many you pass these classes, the parents class method and attribute will be automatically assigned to the child class. So hope my video will be helpful for you, and see you next time.